Okay, I'll continue this thing. I'll read back a little bit. The leading voice from the Kenworth continued in Arabic with, "We need to put more thought in our attack on him with our words. Get the computer ready." Another voice said nervously in Arabic, "We have failed in hand and tongue so far, brothers, leaving only our hearts. According to Muhammad, may Allah pray on heaven, give him peace. If we fail in both hand and tongue when trying to change a thing that is objectionable, we are then left with only our hearts, which to Muhammad, may Allah pray and give blessing, means that we have the weakest form of faith. The weakest form of faith, brothers." Another voice jumped in and asked, "Really? Does that mean quadriplegics are atheists? They are the weakest. They have the weakest form of faith since they can't change anything with their hand, do they not?" "They can still talk and get someone to change something objectionable," shouted a voice. Suddenly one in English. Suddenly, one in English. "What if one is around to help them change the objectionable? What if no one? What if no one is around to help change the objectionable? Are they then atheists? Being that would be the weakest form of faith?" "Shut up!" was heard over the CB in English. The voice that shouted "shut up" then said in Arabic, "You are starting to ask questions like a cover peg. Are you out of Islam?" As the sound of arguing in Arabic and English became more heated, Daniel and Sally looked at each other. Daniel then said into the CB mic, "Sounds like someone has been watching the videos of Christian Prince 3. You keep that kind of questioning, you keep up that kind of questioning, and you might join me in my crusade." "Shut up, kafir swine," shouted a voice over the CB in English. Another voice said in English over the CB, "Daniel Kabashi, we have seen all your videos. They don't hurt the faith in Islam at all." "Really?" said Daniel. "So you are trying to hunt me down and kill me just for the heck of it?" There was silence. Daniel then said, "Ever heard the expression, you aren't over your target if you aren't taking flak? You know I have Islam in my crosshairs now." The voice ignored Daniel's expression and said, You failed terribly in spreading confusion on Islam by bringing in your stupid and naive church clerical logic. Quote, logic, unquote. A simple comparison is so difficult for your dumb brain to understand." Daniel looked at Sully and said, they aren't as friendly now." "Well, he did send 2 of them to paradise with 72-mile wide virgins patooties. I guess that would make them hate us more." Then he spoke into the mic. "I was wondering when you'd start to resort to personal attack when you couldn't defend Islam from the questions I provided. But do you think personal attack helps your argument? By the way, I have a question for you that maybe you can answer. According to the Quran, the Bible is not my book, but Allah's book. What do you think about that? Remember, O Abdullahs, like you said earlier today, the quote, the pen of the scholar is more sacred than the blood of the martyr," unquote. Daniel took his hand off the button and said to Sally, "That should keep them quiet for a while." Yeah, that should keep them quiet for a while. A voice shouted over the CB, "You look like a sodomized, retard, mutant, dwarf Christian of the highest order in your videos." "Ouch. That is just so hurtful to me," laughed Daniel. "But if I do look like that, what does that have to do with the questions I asked?" "Oh, that's right, nothing." The voice then shouted, "Your Bible is full of hatred, violence, and porn. Lot had sex with his daughters, it says, and the Bible promotes terrorism. I could show you references endlessly from your book, aka the Bible. Get a life. Islam is growing daily. Whether with us or without us. What are you gonna do, boy? What a fucking Zionist ass licker. By the way, Christian Prince 3 was like Christian Prince before him, getting paid for telling lies to dumb fucks like you. Get a life, and study Islam. Daniel turned to Sally. You know you're winning the. You know you're winning when they start resorting to ad hominem. When someone resorts to personal attack, it usually proves he's lost the debate. Daniel picked up the mic and said, "The Bible is all that's to you? Strange. Did you know that the Bible is the book that makes people the book? And according to the Quran, is confirmed by the Quran. As a matter of fact, Quran 568 tells Christians they have no ground to stand upon unless they stand firm upon the Injil, gospel. And Quran 1094 tells Muslims, if they are in doubt about the Quran, to go to those who have read the before scriptures, that is the Holy Bible. Don't you find that amazing? When you think the Bible is so damn corrupted? By the way, how is the Torah, that the Quran says is Allah's book, well, how is the Torah corrupted when it reports a case of incest between Lot and his daughters? When the Torah, Allah's book, reports a case of rape or incest, does that mean the Torah is for rape and incest? If so, how? And how does that mean the Torah is not as the Quran has it, Allah's book? How? There was silence, making Daniel smile. An angry voice then said in a thick Arabic accent over the CV, hypothetically speaking, of course you are criticizing Quran for nothing, and you don't even know what. And you don't even know. What is this verse talking about? Try to understand the meaning of verse first. Jews and Christians distort the Quran. The Quran. Your book has been faked many times, comparing it with noble Quran. Our Quran is protected. No one can change, and no one will in the future. Islam is winning. Islam is going to ravage the whole world, and you will see. Then you looked at Sally and said, hey, did you hear that? He said Islam is going to ravage the whole world. He must have forgotten his taqiyya, line for Allah. Daniel then said, Islam has been threatening to ravage the whole world since Mo realized he could get ignorant, horny men using their penises to kill for him. What does it say about a God, in this case Allah, who needs to promise sex for the horny to follow him? There was silence over the CB, followed by murmuring in Arabic that Daniel could not understand. Daniel continued, again, did you know that the Bible isn't my book, but according to the Quran is Allah's words? Not only does the Quran greatly infer the Bible is Allah's words, it tells me, a Christian version of the people of the book, that I have no ground to stand upon unless I stand firm upon the Torah and Injil. And the Quran tells you, a Muslim, to come to me for my reading the before scriptures, Bible, if you're in doubt about the Quran. See Quran 1094. I mean, O slaves of Allah, if the Bible is not the book that makes people the book, then what, pray tell, is the book that the Quran says it confirms? What is it? Daniel kept the mic on his CB as he looked over at Sally and said, I love to ask that question. That question is always ignored by Muslims. No doubt they will ignore it here as well. Suddenly the chain tires of Daniel's truck started sounding different. He prayed that the tires would hold up. I'm still waiting for you to tell me what the book is that makes people the book. If it's not the Bible, said Daniel with a smile, I'm waiting. There was much silence. Daniel then said to Sally with the CB on so the Muslims could hear it. They probably tried to. They will probably check. See. They'll probably change this. They'll probably try to change the subject. Now, this is about the time This is about the time they usually do it when they're skunked. They'll try to say the Quran is more than a book of spirituality. They'll probably try to say the Quran is more than a book of spirituality, but that it's a book of scientific miracles as well. Oh yeah. This is about the time they usually do it when they are skunked. They'll probably try to say the Quran is more than a book of spirituality. Oh yeah, yeah. They'll probably try to say the Quran is not only more than a book of spirituality, but that it's a book of scientific miracles as well. Daniel's momentary triumph was short-lived. Daniel's momentary triumph was short-lived when a Muslim voice came over the CB. Your boundless slow-wittedness is quite apparent, my friend. Quran says the ants and the bees are female. Quran is full of scientific miracles for sure, and every ant and bee you see is female. Is female. That is a scientific miracle, and you can't say otherwise. But that's not original for the Quran to say that, said Daniel. The book, well, the Bible, says ants are female, when it says in Proverbs, consider her ways. Guess what? Proverbs came out before the clear signs Quran, so Muhammad just got the idea from a book, the Bible, that is inspired by God. Suddenly Daniel thought about the ants and remembered something controversial in the Quran about ants that sounded incredibly stupid. Daniel smiled and said as he looked down the road, Ants. Ants, asked Sally. Ants, said Daniel. If I'm not mistaken, the clear signs handed down the clear signs handed down has Solomon not only talking to ants, but understanding them by hearing them. That being the case, I have just got to hear what these slaves of Allah think about the clear signs saying such a thing. Before Daniel asked them about the ants, he said, too bad what happened to your Muslim buddy in the Humvee. Why did he blow himself up? Sounded like he was arguing with those he felt had become anti-Islam. Did I cause that? Oh shoot, how come I can't go to that thing? Oh yeah, here it is. I think I'll read a little further. Yeah. Did I cause that? All the more reason to stop you if you did, said a voice over the CB. Daniel thought and asked, so you do admit I have the ability to stop... Yeah. So you do admit I have the ability to stop Islam from taking the world? Or just slow it down? There was silence. Daniel went on with, I've asked this question many times before, but I'll ask it again. What's it say to you about a faith that kills any Muslim who questions or leaves Islam? You don't see that as you don't see that as problematic when you can't question Islam or leave it without having to always look over your shoulder from then on? Why, O slave of Allah, is Allah so incredibly thin-skinned? Allah certainly wasn't thin-skinned when he wrote the Injil, New Testament. As a matter of fact, in the Injil, Allah never even calls himself we, our, and us. Allah didn't even seem to care that people believed he was one. Didn't care that people believed he was one and that Jesus was his only begotten son. In Allah's Injil, Allah never uses the royal we anywhere within it. Why? Oh, I've got to stop it here.